Liberals, please welcome Ella Grace Trudeau. Amis libéraux, veuillez accueillir Ella Grace Trudeau.
Hi, everyone. I've come here to talk to you about your Prime Minister, your leader, but to me, it's just Dad. Je crois qu'on sait tous que être Premier ministre, c'est pas la job la plus facile au monde. Les longueurs de travail, le stress, l'attention médiatique. But I can tell you, it's not that easy to be the kid of a Prime Minister either. I've been trying hard to live the life of a normal teenager, but I think you can imagine it's not that simple of a task. La sécurité, les règles, le drama m'ont empêché de me sentir vraiment libre ces dernières années. Le nombre de fois où les gens m'ont donné des nouvelles de lui comme si ce n'était pas de mon père qui parlait. J'ai dû choisir mes amis avec soin et parfois douter l'intégrité de certaines personnes. Je ne vais pas vous mentir, c'était pas très facile. I've had some great conversations with my dad about the difficult situations I've lived through, and he never failed to make me feel better. He listened, and more than that, I knew he heard me, he understood me, because he lived through all that. The only difference is that back then there was no social media. Imagine constantly seeing your dad or even news about him as you scroll through your feed. I gotta say, I'm looking forward to seeing more of him at home and less of him online. But I would never trade the last few years for anything. Dad, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud to have seen you fight for our country, for what you believe in, for what we, in this room, believe in. Fier de t'avoir vu te battre pour ceux qui sont dans le besoin. I'm extremely grateful to have lived these experiences and grateful to those around me who have made it even just a little bit easier. Je suis tellement chanceuse d'avoir pu vivre autant d'expériences incroyables, de rencontrer autant de personnes extraordinaires, de voir autant de beaux endroits et de belles choses. I will never forget the memories I've made, it be at Harrington Lake, on official trips, or even just at home. And I'm really looking forward to making some new memories of a different kind. My brothers and I have shared our dad with you for the past 12 years. Now, we're taking him back. But before we do, I guess you can have him one last time. Please welcome your Prime Minister, my dad, Justin Trudeau.
Bonsoir, mes amis. Bonsoir, tout le monde. Hello, my friends. You know, as I look out across this room, I have just one question. How's the Liberal Party doing tonight? Ella Grace, je sais que ces dernières années n'ont pas été faciles pour Zav, Adrien et toi. Merci d'avoir été patient avec moi, même quand j'étais stressé, quand je voyageais trop souvent, quand je n'arrivais pas à penser à autre chose que le travail. Mais sachez que dans les moments les plus difficiles, c'est vous qui m'avez inspiré, vous qui m'avez donné du courage, qui m'avez rappelé de me concentrer sur ce qui était important, pas juste sur ce qui était urgent. Servir en tant que premier ministre, ça a été l'honneur de ma vie, mais j'ai tellement hâte de me redévouer à 100% à mon rôle le plus important, celui de papa. Je suis fier de vous trois et surtout, je vous aime. Now, sit down. Now, I can imagine that you're all expecting me to stand up and talk about all that we've accomplished together. And don't get me wrong, I am damn proud of what we've done over these past 10 years for the middle class and people working hard to join it. But tonight is about our future as a party, as a country. Now, I know that we as Liberals, as a government, often get criticized by our friends for not taking a victory lap after we get something big done. We do something really big, and then we move on right away to the next challenge. Because as progressives, as Liberals, we know there is always more to do. So it is important to take the time to reflect on and share the big successes. But not tonight. Not tonight, because when Liberals gather, we're always focused on just one thing: the work that still needs to be done to build a country that stays worthy of all Canadians. And simply put, that's the work of a lifetime for each and every one of us. It's very simple. Liberals are dedicated to making this country even better, not because we think it's broken, but because we have an opportunity and therefore a responsibility to ensure that Canada stays the best country on earth. Now, these past 10 years, have been challenging. Crisis after crisis has been thrown at Canadians. But through every crisis, Canadians have shown who they are. We've pulled together. We've stood up for each other, and every single time, we've emerged even stronger. And now, as Canadians face from our neighbor an existential challenge, an economic crisis, Canadians are showing exactly what we are made of. Canadians are showing what it is that makes us Canadians, not by defining ourselves by who we're not, but by proudly embracing who we are. We're a country that knows that standing up for everyone's fundamental rights is the only way to protect our freedom. We're a country that believes no one should be left behind and that everyone should have a real and fair shot at success. We're a country that refuses to accept the false choice between a strong economy and a healthy environment. We're a country that embraces reconciliation and Indigenous peoples as true partners because it is the only path to a shared, prosperous future. On est un pays qui fait rayonner sa culture et protège son patrimoine. On est un pays qui fait vivre la langue française et la fait entendre de par le monde. On est un pays qui célèbre sa diversité et trouve force dans ses différences. We're a country that celebrates the right of each and every person to be who they want to be, to pray as they pray, and love whom they love. We're a country that will always defend a woman's right to choose. And we're a country that will be diplomatic when we can, but fight when we must, elbows up. But you here in this room and our fellow Liberals watching across the country, you know all about fighting with grit, with determination when the going gets tough. You remember where we were 15 years ago with just 35 seats in the House. You remember our ups and downs and all those times that people counted us out, all the times they said our party was on its last breath. Like all Canadians, it's when you try to count us out that we Liberals show our true mettle. Vous l'avez montré en 2015, en 2019, en 2021. Vous êtes mobilisés, vous avez cogné des portes. Vous l'avez fait sous la pluie, en pleine canicule, dans le froid. Vous l'avez fait en pleine pandémie avec un masque sur le visage. Vous vous êtes battus pour votre pays et vous l'avez changé pour le mieux. Mais vous savez, un parti, c'est plus qu'un nom, un logo, un leader. C'est vous. Vous qui, à chaque jour, portez les espoirs des Canadiens. Un pays, c'est plus qu'un drapeau et un territoire. C'est une vision. Une vision qui se bâtit peu à peu, jour après jour, entre amis, entre voisins. Et je veux remercier tous ceux qui ont été là pour qu'on bâtisse ensemble cette vision. Je pense à mes premiers bénévoles, il y a 18 ans, à ceux qui ont été là depuis les tout débuts. Reine, Louis-Alexandre, Stavroula et tant d'autres. Je pense au stationnement d'une épicerie de Papineau, où on est allé parler au monde et les convaincre de se joindre à ce mouvement. Tonight, I'm also thinking of two friends in particular who've been there with me and for me every step of the way for close to 20 years. The extraordinary Adam Scotty and the unstoppable Katie Telford. Now, as I look at all of you in this room, no speech could be enough to thank you all as much as I'd like to, as much as you should be. I can't even offer you a well-deserved break because, once again, we need you. Your country needs you maybe more than ever. And I have no doubt that you will answer the call because you've done it before. Liberals will meet this moment. And make no mistake, this is a nation-defining moment. Democracy is not a given. Freedom is not a given. Even Canada is not a given. None of those happen by accident. None of them will continue without effort. It takes courage. It takes sacrifice. It takes hope and hard work. "60 years ago, standing atop Parliament Hill, Prime Minister Lester B. Pearson first raised our beautiful maple leaf into the Canadian sky. It was much debated at the time, but Pearson knew well what we all know now, that our flag would serve as a unifying symbol that would define the next chapters in our national story. 60 years later, there are still so many more chapters to write. And I can tell you, the world is looking to see what Canadians will do. So let us not dwell on all the great things we've achieved over the past 10 years. Let us aspire instead to achieve even more over the next 10 years and the decades to come. Let us remain steadfast, defiant, and united. And let us not just think about our party, let us prove our love of country. As your leader, as your Prime Minister, I have done my level best each and every single day to help build a country that stays worthy of all Canadians. I've done it for Xavier, for Ella Grace and Hadrian. And I've done it for your kids too. And I've done it with you. And although you'll always find me alongside you, cheering along, their future and your future is now in your hands. Merci, mes amis. Merci pour tout.